So good evening, everyone. It's a very happy moment that across so many nations and across geographies, we are together to work on a program which is relating to capacity building with the University of Navarra, Council of Architecture, NIUA, and UVCT. There are over 10 institutions and their teams which are present. There are a total of 15 teams which are present, and I welcome you all. It will be very difficult to take every name, but every name matters because we are all together developing our capacity. The first to speak in today's session is Dr. Manju Basoya Pundir, who is an independent consultant and a strategic urban planner. Her experience spans over nations, regions, and several geographies. She has worked on cities strategic plans, holistic master plans, and different levels of urban planning. She holds a PhD in the field of sustainable principles and practices in urban planning and has worked across India, Singapore, and Middle East. She has worked through various international agencies and institutions, including the IBI Group, JLL, LKS, and so on and so forth. She is a founding member of UVCT and helps forge strategic alliances for research and institutional capacity building through collaborative efforts. So today evening, we have the inaugural message from Dr. Manju Basoya Pundir.
Hi, everyone. Wishing you all a very happy new year. And it's my pleasure to welcome you all into this studio program. We are an AI capacity building studio for enabling brownfield development studies. It is a very unique program, I would say, and its importance is actually self-evident, specifically for our profession. And our vision for this has been not only engaging the institutions, professionals, and students for capacity building and enhancing the technological transformations in their institutes, respective institutes, but also to apply the skills that we learn, the acquired competence, acquired knowledge into regenerative urbanism, into brownfield studies, and localized solutions, design solutions, or planning solutions in urban villages, where we feel the traditional planning and practice has actually failed to address these areas and these spatial units. So this is a very complex and complicated sort of scenario where we are trying to bring together, bridge the gap, where we would like on one side, the futuristic aspect, on the other side, we're talking about urban villages. And that's the beauty of putting this idea together. This idea has taken many months, many deliberations, a lot of research and effort in outlining not only the program, bringing in the institutions, bringing in knowledge partners, understanding what kind of technological platforms can be used online, which have free access, also making sure that institutions have proper VR glasses, etc. And also institutions to have the capacity to apply this knowledge set into a regenerative solutions, which a problem or a site which they're probably already working on or can quickly choose to work on. So this would not have been possible without the support of our esteemed knowledge partners. Very briefly, I would like to say that although UVCT is a very, very new organization, the other knowledge partners that we have on board need no introduction. University of Navarra, a very reputed architectural program at the School of Architecture, very well coveted international program. They have a legacy of almost 50 years, and we welcome you all. And this studio is owned by them. It is going to be run by them. So welcome on board. And Council of Architecture for providing support and funds. Council of Architecture, again, needs no introduction. It's the apex body established by Government of India to regulate as well as to standardize architectural education across the country. NIUA is India's leading urban think tank. They have a reputation of bringing in research and practice into useful fields of urban planning and development. And their cutting edge research is published and known across the world. And at this point, I would like to thank you all. Thank you, knowledge partners, to increase our outreach, to increase our sense of establishment for this particular studio. And also would like to mention here that this program is co-funded by the very prestigious Erasmus Plus program of the European Union, and the funds under the umbrella of the E4TLI initiative, which is the Education for Technical Literacy and Inclusion. This fund, and also co-funded by Council of Architecture as well. And both these funds will be directly distributed to the institutions in the form of VR classes. And I'm extremely thankful that all this was made possible because of the association of these organizations together. As I said, a lot of hard work has gone in. And so I would like to take a moment and appreciate the individuals who took out their time and effort and volunteered to make this studio possible. It's our vision and it's our hard work. Along with myself and Professor Anand Khatri from the UVCT side, Dr. Maria Belen has been instrumental in bringing in the technical expertise as well as the Erasmus Plus programs funds for this particular studio. So thank you so much, Dr. Maria Belen. We invite you, we welcome you on board today, and we will hear more from you later. And at this stage, I would also like to welcome Professor Essier, who will be leading the team from the University of Navarra side, a team of lecturers and teachers, Fernando, Nuno, Enrique, and Valentin. We welcome you on board, and thank you so much for giving your time and effort in the preparations for the studio, and as well as in future, the lectures and workshops that you will be taking up. At this stage, I would also like to thank Abhay Purohit sir and Vinumal ma'am for your kind support and timely intervention. And also, I think you went out of all our expectations and to support this and bring in the funds that will be very beneficial for all the institutions here today. Thank you so much. And last but not the least at all, Lavlesh, thank you so much for bringing in the support and outreach of NIUA. These knowledge partners and this organizing team has together strengthened this particular studio. But at the same time, it will be incomplete to mention, incomplete without the mention of the institutional teams who are going to be participating in the studio today and onwards. Why I say this is it's not a typical studio where, it's not a monologue. It's going to be a collaborative effort, and all of us together are going to learn new skills together and apply them to a very sensitive context of urban villages. So I would like to thank the team leaders who are going to lead the team of 15 from each institution, 5 faculty and 10 students approximately, and these teams are going to work together and learn together. Himanshu, Kanika, Nisar sir, Milind sir, Dhote sir, Vinumol ma'am, Matthew, Shahid, Amar Singh Solanki, and Professor Khatri. Thank you so much once again for bringing in your teams and for leading these teams to a very creative process. And at this point, I also feel really proud that almost 220 to even more people we are directly going to be associated with this program, and our outreach is going to continue later as well. So just to summarize my thoughts, the outcomes that we have envisaged for the studio include capacity building and self-assessment and continued learning. We believe institutional teams will engage and apply the gained knowledge in regenerative urbanism, and also own their knowledge and own their practices for a self-assessment of the acquired competence. All the institutes will receive one or maybe more VR glasses based on the items cost, etc. And this will be made known to you soon. This is courtesy of the E4TLI program funds as well as Council of Architecture funds. And this will enable you to continue your learning in your own space and time as well. And to continue the outcomes part, studies and team presentations will be documented and published as localized solutions for brownfield studies, and also the process of capacity building in the institutions. At the end of this program, certifications will be issued for all team members and all students and teams. And we will basically encourage you to give your 100% and enjoy this process. If you miss out on something, we will be making sure that the access to these recorded program, the lectures, the workshops, etc., are all available to you along a period of time. At the end, I think the conclusive session can also be in person. We have still not decided that, as depending on the times and availability of resources, we will let you know that part as well. And with this, I think all I can say is I'm excited. I'm excited about this opportunity to be, attending and learning and collaborating with all the institutions and knowledge partners. And once again, I would say that welcome and all the best to all of us. Thank you.
And I would request Maria to share the presentation. I must tell you all a little before we proceed with this presentation. This project on capacity building on VR and AI started almost 6 months ago with the University of Navarra under the Erasmus funding. And we had planned to help institutions use VR and AI to detail design proposals better. I must introduce Maria Bezel to you all. Maria is a postgraduate in urban development and has 34 years of professional experience in planning, designing of cities, industrial and recreational areas. She has worked on riverfronts, residential townships and campuses across several countries, India, China, UK and Spain. Having worked as the head of architecture and urban planning projects in Europe, she started her global experience drawing the international strategy for LKS and several other groups. As an architect and urban planner, Maria at the University of Navarra, she holds a MBA degree for New York Stern Business School, which allows her to create her own company, MBM and Associates Planning and Sustaining Private Limited, providing professional solutions for architecture, urban planning, and infrastructure projects in India. Maria is also an advisor to us, and her team and students involved in the internship programs are collaborating in several smart city project deliveries. I would request Maria to tell us a little more about E4TLI and Erasmus and how this project started.
Good evening or good afternoon for Spain. Good evening for India. It's a real pleasure to be with you, and we are just making evident that we are technologically illiterate, okay? This is one of the things that brought this project into life. And we just wanted to share, in which context are we sharing this? We are part of this project, and we are also making you a part of this project. And I'm going to share my video if I manage to do it. I will try to share my presentation just to explain where we come from and why we are doing this, okay? And is my video visible? Is it readable? Am I sharing it?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So, okay.
Yes.
So let me put this into context, and I have to go back to our second wave of COVID. Okay, we were where I was, as an answer has explained, I've been in India for more than 12 years now, leading different firms and projects, and I just left April 2021, not being aware that the second wave of COVID was going to come and it was going to hit so badly in India. So I got stuck in Spain, not knowing if India was going to open for me again or how to go about my even professional future, you know, because everything was showing very badly. So at that moment, I met the person who is key, that maybe she will not appear in any of the presentations, but has been the key factor, no, to make this project possible. That is Dr. Beatriz Plaza, who she is a professor in economics and specialized in urban economics. So I met her in that moment when she had this vision. No? She was very much aware that maybe we professors, we faculty of educational institutions, or even we leading architectural firms or urban planning firms, no, we were actually technologically illiterate. Okay, so that is something that, and that was that gap, no, that maybe during the COVID also was made much more evident. So that's why we vision in that May 2021, no, we envision this project. We proposed it to the Erasmus Plus multilateral projects, and we got a fund for this project. Okay, that's why we are all here today, no, because that project that we call A4TLI, no, that is Education for Technological Literacy and Inclusion, no, is aiming, no, to equipping partners, research members, students, and society at large, no, for improving our skills, no, and capabilities and digital transformation. That there is no other way. There is the way, no? And that was in 2021. Then the project was awarded in 2022. Since 2023, we are already working 3 years in this project, and we realized that we know little, okay? And that's what the first thing I want to say. You can imagine that we are going to try to make this project the most attractive possible, the most appealing, but of course there will be technological gaps, there will be interferences, and we cannot think that in 8-10 sessions, no, even they are the best in the world, they are going to allow us to learn what we should learn, but they are going to open a gate, no, we are going to open the gate to a new world, where we have to look at, and maybe, I don't know, those who we are already professional for 2 or 3 decades, no? We know that we have gone through different stages in our profession, no? We have gone through when we left our papers and we had to take our computer, when AutoCAD came into place, when then SketchUp, all these new technologies that we have in, but now it's true that artificial intelligence and virtual reality is the way ahead, no? And we have to make us capable of it, no? And we are aware, no, that there is that rapid innovation, dissemination of technology, no? And COVID, I think, was like the starting point, and we said, okay, we have to do something about it, no? And the world has changed after that, no? It's amazing, but the world has changed in all fields, in all ways. No? So we are 5 educational institutions and 1 Indian architectural firm working in this project. No, you would say, and why is there any 1 Indian architectural firm? Maybe because I was happened to be those time, and I helped Dr. Beatriz Plaza to envision this project, but also because, as you said, the name of the project is Educational for Technological Literacy and Inclusion. So that inclusion also to include a firm that is not within the European nation. No? Actually, we are two Asian institutions, no? One in Tajikistan and one in India. No? That also made the project successful. So what we commit at that time with the European Union, what we commit with Erasmus Mass program is that we are going to disseminate, no, and we are going to open this knowledge and to make it available to anyone, particularly in India. So that's why we are here, no? Because this is part of this project, and also we have to be aware that this is the project that is also funding, no? It's funding of course, the resources are limited, but they are funding whatever expenses we are incurring in preparing this program, making it possible for you. No, all this has been possible thanks to that funding. Okay, and as I was saying before, we were 5 educational institutions, 1 Indian architectural firm, and we have been we have been working in data science, no, augmented reality, virtual reality, streaming, cybersecurity, blockchain, coding, and programming. No? And each of the educational institutions, each of the firm has taken that area which is more relevant to their own field. No? And which are the aims of this project, no? Why we are here for, and why we are also, to improve this technological literacy among the non-technologically people, or the technologically untrained, uneducated faculty members, students. And I feel, that this program is going to be much more eye-opening to the faculty than maybe for the students. That I have evidence that even today in the School of Colleges of Architecture in India, they are already using artificial intelligence to produce outcome, no? These outputs, and they are already working on it, no? And here we have many students, they will agree or not, or maybe they are still in the process of getting to know how to do it, but okay, maybe for them is something that will help them, of course, but it will help much more to the faculty, or we have to be much more aware that we need to enter in this new platform, no? In this new, and also, of course, in these 3 years, there have been many events, and we have also made this extensible to policymakers, companies, no, and also taking the help of technological research centers to all this, but always trying to disseminate the knowledge, no, and that's why we will be able to access all the information we have. Is in the website, is open source, has to be free for everyone. No, everyone has to attend. That is why the European Union is funding this project, because they want to help education also in informal platforms, no, to that everybody can reach, no, and avoid all kinds of barriers in education due to geography, discrimination, minorities. So all this, that's why this project is being possible, no. Here also I have the names of the project, the institutions involved, and I highlighted University of Navarra because it's the School of Architecture, is the one who has done more research in virtual reality and artificial intelligence. And I also highlighted my company, but because it's the one that is set up in India. But what I wanted to say is that if this project is possible, it's also because there are human relations behind, no? These kind of things is not a question of a planning or strategy, no? Behind all this setup, no? And maybe this is my message to the students, no? Just foster human relationships beyond the technology, okay? What these things happen is because I was working with Manjo, Professor Manjo for many years. I had get in contact with the University of Navarra. This is my mother alma mater, no? So it's where I studied. I am an alumni. I keep that link, no, and I keep that with my. So all these technology should not prevent us to think or to forget that the most important thing is not to talk to the computer or to talk to the new glasses we may get for VR. No, what is more important is to keep, no, our human relationship up, no, so that we can always make, no, everybody capable to reach to wherever we are. No, that this is what this project is for. And I would
Excuse
like to introduce.
Belén.
Yes.
We cannot see the number third now. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you can be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now you can see it. Yeah. So there, yeah. Here the only thing is what I already said. The only thing that you can read is the names of the institutions involved. No, that is the University of the Basque Country, the Polytechnical Institute in Porto, Portugal, the University of Navarra in Pamplona, Spain, then the one is Educational Institution of Music in Estonia, Tajik State University of Commerce in Tajikistan, and my company in India. No, so yeah. So and also another, as you are all educational institutions in India, just my last word would be encouraging you to research also in this kind of European educational programs, no, that are available. No, don't think that because I am in India and I've been able to you can register, you can get this funding. No, sometimes the problem we have in institutions, educational institutions, we don't have the funding. There are funding available when we have an idea, when we have a vision. So try to enter, no, and I think it's good also that you get to know that these possibilities are, no, and actually we are also thinking on enlarging or extending this project from October on, no, and we'll be looking for partners, no. So try to find those partners and try to also to reach to this funding, no, that is available for whoever is willing, no, to participate.
Thank you, Maria. This was a wonderful explanation. I would not delay Professor Abhay, who is the President, Council of Architecture, and who has so kindly, graced this meeting. I must tell you all that before I introduce Professor Abhay to you all, I must tell you that there is a change in the methodology which the Council of Architecture in India has adopted recently under his leadership. And I see him as a very strong and very, very promising leader. I have worked with almost 3 presidents of the Council of Architecture, but this is the first time we see a leader who has been steering every institution. We have 4 institutions which were working directly with us as a part of the Brownfield Development Program, but it was under his guidance and through his recommendation that the rest 6 of them joined. So Professor Abhay, who is now the President of Council of Architecture, heads the institution himself. He is the principal and director at the Institute of Design, Education and Architectural Studies, Ideas, Nagpur. And as a postgraduate in city planning from IIT Kharagpur and an architect graduate from Viseswara Institute of Technology in 1985, he has a strong practice background. He has worked across several levels of projects, leading to planning, housing, and so on and so forth. And his approach on projects is actually a vision-based approach, and he calls for the brotherhood of several disciplines divided into silos to come together and work on the common agenda for the benefit of mankind. He shares a vision of architecture which brings together all knowledge into ways where it benefits mankind. I welcome Professor Abhay to this meeting and request him to share his views.
Thank you very much, Anand. And as it could happen as such, I was struggling with the teams. What I was telling was that, it is always the technology and the crisis associated with it as such, which has delayed. Belenis, she knows what I'm talking about. So this is basically that I was trying, but that's fine. And that is how the technology has to be. And the mankind would always sort of suffer with or struggle with the technology and, like the linkages with it. But having said that, let me congratulate basically UVCT to, take such kind of initiative, whereupon you have been instrumental in bringing University of Navarra in collaboration with National Institute of Urban Affairs and then Council of Architecture. Along with that, more importantly, we have the 10 schools across India who are participating into these efforts. And we are going to naturally deal with a very, very relevant scenario when technology could be always, in the urban areas and metropolis areas as such, it is always possible. But when we look at a country like India, whereupon we know that our 70% of the population is basically either into a, peri-urban areas or rural areas or into the villages. And there, where if our efforts are, concentrated and whereupon we start actually dealing with the situation, the type of the project which you anticipate, and finally I would be, looking at the end result of it. As such, it is very, very exciting. This capacity building is very, very important, very relevant, and that's why Council felt that it is also our duty to be a sort of a part of this change which is going to come. So my thanks are to University of Navarra for basically being with their professors I see and their resource persons I see out here. Is going to be a very, very good sort of interaction, a great understanding among each other as to how the things could happen. And also this exercise may give us a strength to also think in terms of also training other schools of architecture across India. So others are waiting. So we are looking at this as a pilot project. It has been said that what we as a council we are doing, yeah, of course, we have been established by the Act of the Parliament, and we have a mandate to regulate architecture education and profession in India. And when we look at the way the technology is going to impact us as such, then we know that across the world the changes are going to happen, and we also have to cope up with the changes in the best possible fashion. So what possibly we are doing at council level is that we are actually, trying to understand that what changes are going to come, and then we are trying to see to it that these changes could be as early as possible, should be penetrated to all the schools across India. So it is not only about the schools which we intend to train, we also are in the mode of training the professionals and doing the capacity building, and this becomes very, very important part of it. So we are sort of forming understanding about how the technology, that too the disruptive technology, is actually changing our entire scenario for practice and education, and for which we are also going to organize an international conference which is going to come in the month of June in Mumbai, and we have very, very encouraging results for that, but that is only one part of it, whereupon we will be looking at it as to how we are going to change our educational system, gear up our education system so that we are capable of meeting the need of the disruptive technologies. Another part which we have to see is that in India we have a challenge of having a sort of a unplanned development happening around. And so if we look at it as to where the planning has reached as such, to my understanding, we have reached to only about 25% of the urban settlements whereupon the planning actually in some format or the other is being implemented, or the plans are ready and the coordinated development happens. But if that is what it is, the problem comes basically to the fringe areas of a city, and it also comes to the rural areas, and it comes to the urban areas. And so we have decided at the council level, we are going to have a committee which is going to look after these aspects as such, and we would be taking sort of a policy measures which are needed to be implemented. So in the days to come, I'm anticipating that possibly with every local self-government, there would be a team of the advisors from the architecture side, from the planning side, from the engineering side as such, who also would be working in a very, very close proximity with the decision makers and the policy makers, so that all the developments remain to be coordinated in the proper fashion. And I think that this workshop, this training, this capacity building program is also one way to help out and finding out a right way of doing the things. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward for the things to happen. Let me also, for the benefit of others as such, tell that we also at a council level, we are coming up with a advanced research center at Bangalore in the premises of Bangalore University, and our building is soon going to start, and we intend to establish about 15 state-of-art research facilities, which are basically going to be talking from right from the traditional knowledge systems, Indian knowledge systems, to basically disruptive technologies. And we are trying to, have it in a bigger way so that this would be a center which would be a unique center, not only meant for the Indians. It would be essentially meant for all the researchers who intend to come join hands, work in the built environment. And it may not necessarily again lead to, typically PhD sort of a degree or doctoral research, but there could be the individuals who could also come and say that they intend to carry out such and such research, which actually would have some kind of a importance and the bearing in terms of the development. All those would be welcome to be a part of that center. Such kind of programs also would be a sort of a part of it. And so this is a very, very unique sort of the program which you are conducting, and let me congratulate all who are involved to be there. I also congratulate, majority of the head of the institutions who have joined, 10. I know them one-on-one, majority of them actually, and I know that they are all capable people. They are very, very enthusiastic, and I'm very, very sure that along with their students as such, they would be capable of giving absolutely desired results. So my best wishes to the workshop. I would certainly like to see when it concludes that how better have we achieved our targets. Thank you very much. Best wishes to all. Namaskar. Over to you, Anand.
Thank you so much, Professor Abhay. I have requested Professor Binu Maltom, who is also a member of the Council of Architecture, to kindly thank Professor Abhay.
A very good evening to all. During the auspicious occasion of inauguration of this capacity building workshop for 10 selected institutions in India by University of Navarra in collaboration with UVCT, NIUA, and obviously COA. I take this opportunity to thank the President of Council of Architecture. I was just listening to how Professor Anand Khatri has introduced him. I think those are the real words which will showcase our President, Abhay Purohit sir, who has in fact meticulously elaborated that such a kind of study and such researches are best for a country like India. And I'm sure that this particular event would be a continuous learning exercise, not only for the 10 institutions under Council of Architecture, but for the rest also. Really privileged to have you as our president, and thank you very much. And I should also extend my thanks to University of Navarra, Dr. Manju, Dr. Maria, Dr. Anna, and also Professor Anand Khatri, who has been really behind this. In fact, it is his brainchild. So thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Binu. I request the University of Navarra to guide us on something about the university and how we would proceed.
Very good. Well, I would like to express my gratitude for having given us the opportunity to showcase what our university is and what the School of Architecture does. First of all, thanks to the Council of Architecture in India. It is an honor for us to be able to collaborate with such a prestigious institution that is giving our school the opportunity to collaborate with, to share our knowledge and an area of research with 10 Indian architectural colleges. And it is a pleasure to be associated with the National Institute of Urban Affairs as well. As the faculty involved more directly with this program belongs to the urban development area. Urban Village Charitable Trust, with its high-end vision and acting as facilitator and bringing all of us together, deserves our deep appreciation. A special thanks to Mr. Anand Khatri and Mrs. Manju Pandey for making this happen. I make this gratitude extensive to all participants, faculty, and students, as this will be a journey in which we will learn together. It's an honor to stand before you today to speak about the University of Navarra. The University of Navarra is a Christian-inspired institution dedicated to teaching, research, and service. all carried out on a non-profit basis. It was founded in 1952 in Pamplona, a small town in the north of Spain. It has grown from humble beginnings into a global center for education and innovation. With campuses across Spain and a robust international network, it has become a meeting point for talent, diversity, and collaboration. As you can see from this slide, we have campuses in many different places. Our mission is to combine academic rigor with professional excellence, all grounded in a strong ethical foundation. At the heart of everything we do are our values: respect, integrity, service, and excellence. I would like to share with you a video that highlights some key facts and figures about the university, and because I think this will give you a clearer picture of who we are. So let's take a look at the video. Well, here are some of the figures. And let's see if the video works. So I'm sorry because some of the information at the video was in Spanish. But well, we're proud to have a truly international community. In fact, nearly 30% of our students come from outside Spain, with about 4,000 international students representing 113 different countries. Our community holds a network of universities worldwide, promoting international collaboration. So now let me focus on one of its standout facilities, that is the School of Architecture. It was founded in 1964, making it one of the first institutions in today. The School of Architecture is known for its dynamic learning environment, and it's got an alumni network that plays a significant role in the field around the world, in the field of architecture around the world. What truly sets our school apart are three key pillars: academic excellence, by blending technical training with creativity and innovation; balancing theory and practice to prepare students for real-world challenges. And we foster a global perspective through international exchanges and collaborations, preparing students for a competitive world. And additionally, we are committed to sustainability and social responsibility, focusing on creating environments that serve people while addressing ethical and environmental impacts. I would like to share with you today a range of specialized master programs offered by the School of Architecture. These programs are designed to prepare students for impactful careers in architecture. So as you can see from the slide, we have 3 masters available for international students. One of them is the master's degree in theory and architectural design. This master is an official bilingual master program offered by the university since the year 2000. So it takes place in Pamplona, in the campus of Pamplona, as opposed to the other 2 programs that I will tell you about, and is recognized as one of the top master's programs in architecture, in architectural design. It has welcomed students for 20 different countries over its 45 years of history. The aim of this program is to achieve academic excellence in the fields of architectural theory and design through high-quality personalized teaching. So one of the key attractions of this program is distinguished team of professors composed by renowned academics and award-winning professionals of the architectural scene in the world. So, for instance, in the past few editions, professors have come from over 9 countries, architects such as Rafael Moneo, Fritz Niemeyer, Wilfried Wang, Akos Novaransky have taught in this program. So this blend of academic rigor, global perspectives, and access to top professionals makes this program a premier choice for aspiring architects seeking to enhance their expertise. The other one is the master's degree in design and environmental management of buildings. It gives the students the tools to bring environmental responsibility into their projects. So it brings opportunities for internships, to get real-world experience, and an international program that connects the students with professionals globally. It also focuses on specialization and innovation in sustainable design. So by the end, graduates are ready to lead the way in creating sustainable buildings and make a meaningful impact on the world. This takes place, as I said earlier, in Madrid, in the postgraduate campus. And then last but not least would be the master's degree in real estate, also taking place in Madrid, and is designed for those aiming to bridge the gap between architecture and business. So this program provides deep insight into real estate development, investment, management, preparing students to take on leadership roles in this sector. So students focus on areas such as market analysis, urban regeneration, strategic project management. It's ideal for those who want to shape the future of cities and the real estate market. So in conclusion, the School of Architecture at the University of Navarra is committed to fostering excellence, innovation, and professional growth. And these master's programs not only prepare students to thrive in their careers, but also encourage them to contribute to the improvement of society through architecture. So to conclude this session, I would like to share a last video of the university. Thank you again for your time and for the opportunity to be part of this session.
Thank you. So thank you, Anna, for this wonderful sharing of information on the University of Navarra.
I now request Maria to tell us something about the professors.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm truly delighted to be the person who will introduce to the team the members of the faculty of the School of Architecture in the University of Navarra. When in Spain we say School of Architecture, we can translate and pass on to our Indian colleges of architecture, where is the institution where all our architects, planners come from. And I would like to say that this team, that is going to introduce us in this new journey, into these new technologies and trying to put them into practice in our field. They all tell me, this is a work in progress. They're still learning. We are still in the beginning. There is so much to develop. Okay, but they are already quite versed, and they are going to at least help us in our own introduction to this new technological and digital world. And I will start introducing the head of the team, that is Asier Santas. And Mr. Asier Santas is architect, urban planner by profession, and he's holding a PhD for the last 20 years, and since then he's been teaching, lecturing, as well as practicing in her own firm, along with some partners. And currently he's serving as director of the Department of Theory, Projects and Urban Planning in the School of Architecture in the University of Navarra. He is also member of several scientific committees of several forums, including the VIA, Bilbao Vizcaya Architectura, and also he's part of the governing body of the Council of Architects in the northern part of Spain, including the Basque Country and Navarra. His research has been focused on his life in history of Spanish architecture and urban planning, but lately he has become quite versed and expert on the use of new technologies, not only while teaching, also while practicing his own firm. He's been doing his own research. He has been doing his own, developing his own knowledge, that now he is happy to share with us. And he will be, giving us some theoretical session, basic principles, and then also he will introduce us how to use and how to make the best on when we are dealing not only with our own conceptualization, also for visualization and dealing with our future or present customers. Along with him, I want to introduce also Mr. Nuno Madrones. He's an architect also, he's planner, and he also is holding a PhD for the last more than 12 years. But his area of expertise is much more in planning. Okay, he's been working and he keeps working for public projects in the north of Spain. He's based in Vitoria, and he's lecturing not only the University of Navarra, he's also lecturing in other technological centers, particularly in the north of Portugal. And his area of expertise is focused essentially in two fields. One is the setting of the disciplinary corpus of urban planning, and also with in creating, and he's part of, he's member of many research groups, maybe also committees, where they are not only researching, also publishing, making their knowledge shareable to others. He lately has published two different books. One is called the ABC of the urban theory, and the other one is the manual and the toolkit for the urban design and sustainability, that has made him quite well known in the field. Apart from him, I'm very happy also to introduce to Mr. Enrique Rojo. He's architect as well. He studied also. He got his degree in the University of Navarra, but lately he went to Sheffield, in the UK, where he got his master's in conservation and regeneration for buildings, and maybe his experience spans, from architecture to heritage, but also he's very much into technology, and currently he's also trying to pursue his PhD with a very beautiful topic, the influence on European influence on Japanese architecture, so he's also quite interested in Asian cultures, and apart from all his research, he also has his own practice. He co-founded actually a firm called Arroba, that is a multidisciplinary architectural practice where they are trying to work on virtual architecture and innovation, not only lecturing, that he does lecturing in different educational institutions, also applying it in practical, and both with this deep integration from theoretical research and practical application, he has won already recognition in both academia and professional practice. And also I wanted to introduce to Mr. Fernando Alonso that he's also architect, okay? He's also a PhD, but since he finished and graduated in Pamplona, and when he was doing his own research on PhD, he has tried to apply or to merge rather creativity in architecture with technology. The thesis, his dissertation that he defended 4 years ago, has a title and has a subject, how to merge design, mathematics, and form. Contemporary geometric construction, that is what he did his dissertation on, from point to the fractal. And his current research, the line of research, has to do with critical analysis of digital culture in architecture. So he is the one of a kind, he's the right person to lead us in this journey. And he's currently teaching a subject that is called Digital Prototyping Management. Design studio in the geometry and form laboratory. He's developing also his own architectural projects. He writes articles. He's focused particularly in dissemination and critical reflection on digitalization and architecture. He is, again, the right person to introduce us in this journey, sharing his experience, even though he may say that he's still learning, he's far away from us. And finally, I wanted to introduce also to Mr. Valentin Galafel. He's an architect, also alumni of the School of Architecture. And I wanted to highlight his vast experience in developing projects, both in public and private sector in Asia. He has been working in Lebanon, he has been working in Vietnam, now in India, and he has been, he's in the field, and is someone who already has more than 10, 12 years of experience, but he's already conceptualizing all his projects through artificial intelligence. So I think that he will be much more closer maybe to the students, not only in age, also in mind, and he has this hands-on experience that he will pass on, being available for all of us, but particularly for students. He is in the same time zone than all of you, so he will be able to solve your problems, to bring you on track when you're a little bit lost, when you get stuck, and he will be a good asset, in this team. And yes, I wanted to welcome them all, thank them for the contribution to this program, making it happen. I know that we are going to have challenges, distance, different time zones, different accents in our speaking when we're speaking in English, but I know that they will make the best to pass on their knowledge to us, and introduce us in this journey that we will all of us, with students here, faculty here, and all the lecturing coming from Spain, will be like a journey where we will all learn together. So thank you, all of you. My gratitude, my admiration to be able to have brought, to have been able to brought all these platform together, and wishing them the best of their success. Thank you.
We are privileged to have you all to guide the students.
I would like to share what we are doing here in this meeting. There are so many friends, academicians, fellow colleagues, and co-academics from different institutions, along with students expecting a great outcome from this meeting, and students who have also been working with the UVCT Brownfield Policy Studio program. I hope I would request Shipra to share my presentation. And while she's sharing my presentation on the research grid that we are trying to formulate, I would like to tell you that at my institution, I am not the team leader anymore. There are two teams which are participating from AIT-SAP, which are being headed by Varish Panchal and Ashish Saxena. From the Chandigarh University, which is a university where one of our founder members is also a part of the institution. Professor Dr. Anurag Verma is there as the ED Liberal Arts, and along with him is Professor Amar and Professor Dr. Swati, who are heading the teams from Chandigarh University. From Chitkara School of Architecture and Planning, we have Dr. Kanika Bansal, who's there heading a team, and she has been working on documenting and writing policies for villages and urban villages around their college and in Chandigarh for the last one semester with UVCT. From my college, we have already documented 5 urban villages very thoroughly, and they have all been published for writing policies, and the publications are available. From Professor Abhay Vinayak Purohit's institution, Ideas, we have Professor Milind Gujarkar, who happened to be my senior in college and who has also been working in a very committed way on villages and urban villages. From Jamia Millia Islamia team, we have Professor Dr. Nisar Khan, who was the first amongst all the UVCT founders to document Okla Gaon as a publication which is leading to the identification of policy measures for urban informalities and urban villages. From MCAP, there are 4 teams, and it is really very encouraging to have 4 teams from one institution. I am really thankful to Dr. Suja, and from MCAP, Professor Matthew is heading the team. I am extremely sorry. I don't have the names of other 3 team leaders ready with me right now on the Excel sheet from which I am reading. From Manit, in fact, Manit happened to be a very important destination. We started the Brownfield Policy Program from COA TRC Bhopal, where Dr. Navneet Munoth, who was heading the COA TRC Bhopal, was encouraged us, and we through the last 1 year have been working on this Brownfield studio with Dr. Navneet Munoth. Right now, Professor Dr. K.K. Dhote is heading the team of students and academicians from Manit Bhopal. Manit is a very old institution. From RGIT GEC, Professor Dr. Binumol Tom, who is also one of our founders, is heading the institution. From the Sushant School of Architecture, Professor Himanshu Sanghani is heading the institutional team, and we have very high expectations from Sushant. In fact, Sushant and Chandigarh University joined the program at the very last minute, and I'm very thankful to Maria and to the Council of Architecture President, who had extended the scholarship of VR glasses to all the 10 institutions, including the Chandigarh University and Sushant School of Architecture. And then we have this symbiosis, a skill and professional university, where one of our very eminent founder members of UVCT, Dr. Gauri Shiurkar Kotnis, has been guiding the institute. And under him, Dr. Shahid Rahmat is the head of the team. So we at UVCT are trying to build a research grid. And the idea of building this teamwork is collaborative growth. UVCT started in a design studio, and it was from this design studio that we realized that there is immense amount of energy, innovative thought, and commitment in amongst the students' fraternity, at least the 4th year and the final year. And so we started the programs of studios as the core program. UVCT is a research repository which documents and discusses urban villages through conferences and symposiums. But, the work started from a studio, and henceforth we are here having another international studio to connect students to new technologies. For collaborative growth, we have been, also consulting and acting as an advisory for policy writing at different levels. Then, the intention of UVCT is actually to make people think. When we look at the profession of architecture, the way we have been working and our focus in architecture, it's more towards new design, new thinking, maybe towards, we have been directing the studies of architecture to new building technologies. But in India, we have hordes of areas where people are living, and these areas are not really included in the mainstream planning. And because they are not included in the mainstream planning, that is why there is inequality, there is lack of inclusivity, there are unequal opportunities. We at UVCT have been trying to draw the attention of different sections of professionals towards thinking for these settlements, which are not really profit-making centers for governance. And henceforth, this particular program is using VR and AI for brownfield studies. These areas are generally called brownfield because greenfield is a development where the land is free. So we need to start thinking when people are there on land, where existing construction is there on land, and we are able to envisage solutions. So can we go to the next slide, please? So as a part of training and capacity building amongst dedicated and specialized professionals, we have been consulting and strengthening research partner grid. The idea is to understand and realize that I myself alone, or any of you alone, are not sufficient to work on something as large as the task at hand, the task of remending the cities, the task of reworking cities. We cannot do anything alone unless we have a research grid, unless we have people committed to the cause and people getting together with all their heart and minds and lending some part of their energy, some set of number of hours aside to really work on, these areas. Till that time, we will not be able to even start walking a step towards the change of inclusivity that we all talk in our research papers, discuss under the head of sustainability, and teach in our classrooms. In this program of capacity building, this program is a self-assessment process. Each member who has joined this program must assess himself and herself as to what kind of changes they are envisaging. This is not a teaching lesson kind of a program. Although there are very eminent teachers who would be running us through the program, but it has to be a part of self-assessment. Institutions have to take ownership of their learnings and skills and upgrade through continued practice and internal assessments. Team leaders will assess the overall performance of their teams. So say, for example, we have Varish Panchal and Ashish Saxena as our team leaders in my institution. So they will assess, they will be the primary assessors of the progress each person is making through these classes. Each individual team member should discuss, ask, and report to their team leaders. Observations, difficulties, technical queries can be discussed and summarized by each team and shared on UVCT emails ID 2 days prior to the next online session. I think you all would be having the details of the session program by now. Experts may compile and explain common issues to all teams in subsequent sessions. So this is how the sessions would be running. The suggestive framework of self-assessment, is the suggestive framework is that each team gets a creative to report their self-assessments, documentations, and presentations, including a pre and post level of knowledge and skill related to VR and AI, application of these tools in regressive urbanism context, exploration of AI and VR over and above other previously used design softwares, observe changes in approach to design and outputs, post-studio compiling, teams learning, journey, capacity enhancement, new skills acquired. So I must tell you that while I have been discussing the whole project with the Council of Architecture, Professor Abhay Vinayak Purohit has also suggested that we create a documentation at our end at every institution, which would become a chapter of VR and AI studies. So dear professors, dear colleagues, and dear academics, we have to lend our energy and infuse our teamwork in such a way that we are able to understand how this technology can be brought to make a change in our design thinking. Is it able to do this change, and how things are changing in the minds of students, and so on and so forth. So we will be getting on to the forum. We will meet separately and discuss these possibilities soon. This slide shares the founding members of UVCT. The next slide, please. Our advisory, I'm really thankful that Professor Maria, Dr. Maria, has joined our advisory. These are some of our youth researchers. So Professor Abhay Vinayak Purohit, Dr. Bharat Dhaiya, Dr. Anita Prakash, Architect Manoj Vahi, Dr. V.K. Paul Lavlesh, and Dr. Hitesh Vaidya and Dr. Hina Zia are members of our advisory. We are very happy and thankful that Professor Maria has agreed to be on our advisory and guide us in our further steps. There are certain set of students who have been working consistently with UVCT, and I acknowledge them also apart from the founding members. Before concluding what I have to say and what I have said, and I would like you all to understand how we proceed with our thinking through the UVCT oath. We believe that life in a correct balance with the environment shows a way to more responsible, responsive, and awakened behavior, with a promise to stand by the cause of humanity, with deep compassion for the collective life, to all humans who have worn the emblem of life from birth to death and are forever travelers of time, to those who have withstood ignorance of wars for centuries and have in successions shown an improvement in the collective knowledge of our species, to the farmer, the villager, the mason, the practitioners of small trades and handicrafts, to the commoner who needs a hand-holding on the path, to coexistent species of plants, animals, known and unknown to us, and to those who co-inhabit the earth with the correct balance, I shall lend my energy and my presence as an architect, a planner, a sociologist, an economist, and a fellow traveler. My profession and education, while as a means of my dreams, are also in the service of humankind. So each UVCT member signs this oath and tries to direct some part of his energy for common good. Let us walk towards a very, very intense VR and AI capacity building program under the Council of Architecture, under the University of Navarra, the School of Architecture at University of Navarra, ETSA, the Erasmus funding, and the NIUA. Thank you. Over to Maria.
Yeah, I just wanted to open, if we're a little bit late and we are a little bit running out of time, but I wanted to open if there are some questions, if there are some, particularly for Anna, for the University of Navarra, for the School of Architecture, or for any one of us. Things will be unfolding as time passes by, and we have to give some time to all of us to get used to this new platform. But I wanted to open the discussion if there is any question. If not, thanking you all. Actually, I am excited to see that more than 250 people have already joined. And so, as I said, this is a journey. We learn together. But if someone has any question, any doubt, as I think, I don't know if it was Manju sir, Ma'am also said, all these sessions are recorded, and all the sessions will be recorded, and also will give you open link to A4TLI sessions that have happened before, and you can go back to them once and again because they are all recorded. That doesn't mean that the best thing is to attend live, okay, to attend as because that gives you the opportunity to ask questions or to but all the sessions will be recorded for particularly to go back to them if we need it. Okay. So any question from your end? No questions, sir? Then maybe we need to wrap up, and just we would like you to be sharp as you were today on 29th, same time, same entry code, same passcode. No, we are not going to change anything so that there are no varieties. 29th January for India, 5:30 p.m. for Spain, 1 p.m. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you, Anand sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Maria. Thank you, Aesir. Thank you, everybody who's present.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Arvind.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.